Welcome to driver training. My name's Chris. In this test we're going to go through the ADI part 1, band 2 questions and give you the insights as to the answers. If you want to go through this, go through in our website, all the W's, drivertrainingtheory.co.uk. So question 1, how can you modify your driving to help the environment? So the answer to this is A, look and plan further ahead. So in other words, the further ahead that you're looking and planning, the earlier you can come off the gas pedal, the earlier you can start braking, so it's not sharp, but it's a more gentler form of driving. Our next question, when may you wait in a yellow box junction? The answer is C, when oncoming traffic prevents you from turning right. If the light is on green and the road on the right, your exit is clear, then you are allowed to go into the box and just wait for the traffic to clear before going. Apart from pedestrians, what should you be aware of at toucan crossings? The answer to this is C. Remember, toucan, think of two can cross, so cyclists and pedestrians. Our next question, who has priority when traffic lights are out of order? The answer to this is B. Nobody has priority. Everyone's got stop lines, the traffic lights are out for everyone, so you have to treat it like an unmarked junction and figure out who's going where and when. On a motorway, where would you see green reflective studs? The way to remember this is to think of the colour of reflective studs like traffic lights. Red is stop or don't, green means you can go or cross. So where can we cross the green studs? Well, that's on slip roads, entrances and exits on and off the motorway. At which type of crossing are cyclists and pedestrians allowed to cross together? Remember, we mentioned this in the question earlier. Toucan. Two can cross. How often should you check that your brake lights are working? The answer is A. Before each journey. So before each time you travel out, just check to make sure you don't have a bulb out. What will happen if you brake firmly as you drive around a right-hand bend? So let's look at this in more detail. Remember, the scenario is the car is going round a right-hand bend. Now, as the car is going round the bend, the gravity will be pushing you and the car towards the left, which is why you would lean to the left. So to brake firmly now means most of the weight would go to the front wheel on the left, which is nearest to the curb. Which colour light shows before the flashing amber signal at a pelican crossing? Well, remember, a flashing amber means that if it's safe to, you can go. So therefore the light before it would have been the red light. What does excessive wear of the central area of tread on a car tyre suggest? This basically means that your tyre has been over-inflated, too much air in it. What should you do when you're cornering on an icy or snow-covered road? And this catches quite a few out. Now the actual answer is A, and this catches many people out because they think drive slowly, which yes is partially correct, but if we're keeping the engine speed high, we're either riding the clutch, or if we're in an automatic, to keep the engine speed high, we're going to be accelerating and going through that bend too quickly. So the correct answer is actually to approach the corner at a steady speed so that we don't need to brake on the corner, because with the ice or the snow we could just end up sliding off, and to use the highest gear possible so the wheels are turning as slowly as possible, which is, if you remember, why we try and move off in snow and ice in second or third gear so the wheels don't spin. Why should you take care to avoid spillage when refueling a vehicle fitted with a diesel engine? If you've never filled up a diesel vehicle, it is very slippery, and because it's oil based, tends to stay in that position. Your car is fitted with anti-lock brakes. What technique should you use to stop in an emergency? Well, the answer to this is A, to press the brake pedal firmly until you've stopped. If the ABS kicks in, just keep braking, let it do its job. And on that subject, when will anti-lock brakes be activated? So the answer to this is B. It's when excessive brake pressure has been applied. In other words, you've hit the brakes hard and the wheels have now locked up or gone to lock up. You're driving down a steep hill. Why could keeping the clutch down or selecting neutral for too long be dangerous? The answer to this is A, your vehicle is just going to pick up speed naturally because you've done one of those two things. Here's one that catches many people out. You're driving on an urban clearway during its time of operation. Apart from breakdowns, when may you stop on this road? So the correct answer is A, to set down and pick up passengers. Did you get this one right? Leave us a comment. But why is that the answer? Well, the key is to look at the sign that is on there. The small circle tells us that this sign means no waiting, and not, as many think, no stopping. One line on the blue disc means no waiting. The two red lines, the cross, means no stopping at all, and that's how you know the difference. You're making a right turn. What could you do if you think your indicators might be difficult to see? And the answer is B. Simply give an arm signal to emphasize the indicator. What should you do if your tyre bursts while you're driving? The safest way to deal with this is just to hold the steering wheel firmly, come off the gas pedal and just let the car slow down gradually. Head restraint should be adjusted correctly. What injuries do they protect you from? The answer is C. They protect you from neck and spine injuries. So therefore, where should the head restraint be positioned for it to be the most effective? So this is at least as high as the eyes or the top of the ears. When you're getting a pupil to do this in the car, you generally get them to run their hand across the top of their ear and back onto the head restraint, and then to turn around and have a look while their hand is still on it, and generally it's about halfway on the head restraint. And our final question in this section: what should you do when you've driven through a flood? And the answer to this is D. Just test your brakes, make sure they are functioning properly, but check the rear view mirror first. So we hope that's helped with your understanding of the ADI Part 1 Band 2 questions. Don't forget, if you want to go through all the questions, check out our website drivertrainingtheory.co.uk, or if you'd like to see all the questions but hear all the answers explained, then get the ADI Part 1 course or the ADI Part 1 Band 2 course on our courses website, ADI online.co.uk.